So a subscriber reached out to me the other day and asked my opinion on the optimal time to sell a hot comic in their possession. My answer to them is the same as what I'm about to say to you right now. Sell that comic, take the cash, and buy yourself something nice. If you want to hear the longer answer, stay tuned for the video. Reggie here, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. As I mentioned in that intro, if you find yourself in possession of a comic that has suddenly become hot, you should absolutely sell that comic. Take that cash and use it to buy something that you really want. That is my honest answer. Now, you might wonder why I say that. I say it because time and time again, we have seen a very predictable pattern with books that no one is interested in suddenly seeing their values spike. Those books will become red ocean hot books for a short period of time. It may be days, it may be weeks, it may be months, but those books will eventually cool off, sometimes very, very suddenly. And so if you miss that window of FOMO, if you miss that buying excitement window when people are flocking to that book, you will be stuck holding that book long term, waiting for your next opportunity to sell it. So if you have that book in your possession, you probably want to go ahead and sell it, especially if you do not care about that character. If you don't like that character, if you don't like that book, go ahead and sell it. Now, one thing that a lot of people will say is, what happens if the value goes up? Well, that is the chance that you take, but you have to ask yourself, how high will the value actually go? Sometimes you have a book in your possession that you pay $2 for, it is going for $100, maybe $200, and you're holding out for maybe 10, 20 extra dollars. That 10 to 20 extra dollars will not make or break you. You have an opportunity to have a solid return on your investment. Why not take the opportunity? Take the cash now versus being stuck with a book long term that you don't have any interest in at all. Now here, ask yourself this. Why did the book suddenly become hot? What was the rationale behind it? Was it that it was optioned? Was it that an actor was named to portray that character? Are they coming out with a movie or TV show? Did the trailer drop, right? Oftentimes that sudden spike in value is preceded by something, some type of announcement, something that gets people's interest. More than likely, that interest is again going to spike at that moment, and then it's going to die off as people lose interest or as they go out and buy that copy. So your buying pool gets smaller as time goes on. So you want to seize that opportunity. But think about this as well. How long will that moment in time last? Is there a sizable fan base that is there to support and sustain the value of that comic long term? If that book has not historically performed, will it continue to perform into the future? Books typically have value because there is a fan base that supports that value long term. They have an interest in that character. They buy that character, all of their appearances, all of the issues that come out. And it is that sustained fan base that keeps that value high. If a movie or trailer comes out, those aren't exactly fans that are buying that book. It is people trying to get it so that they can potentially make money or that they don't get left behind. They don't get left out. It's not a real fan base because that book hasn't done much, doesn't really have a fan base to sustain it, which means that price is going to go up and that price is going to come down. And again, if you miss that selling window, you will be stuck holding that book. So why not sell it? Take the cash, go buy yourself something really nice. That is the advice that I would offer up. On the flip side, what I will tell you is that I absolutely believe in the long-term value of comics as a form of entertainment, but then also as a form of investment. I think that potentially we might see some decoupling of movies and TV shows as a driver of value. I think that there's a lot of people that got swept up in that in 2020, 2021, even 2022, but I feel like that is dying off. There is going to be a little bit of a disconnect, especially as they are slowing the release of the movies and TV shows, especially as people become a little flustered, if you will, with the quality of movies and TV shows that are coming out. You could see some decoupling happen, but I believe in comics long term. So if you have quality comics in your possession that have solid fan bases, that are first appearances of great characters, those are the type of books you want to hold on to long term. The first appearance of Spider-Man, of the Fantastic Four, of the Incredible Hulk, those are quality books. The first time that someone fell down the stairs might not be it. The first time someone wore a costume, that might not be it. The first time that they held a magical wand, or some of those insignificant things, I don't think that those are the types of books that will have value long term. It is the books that are solid blue chip comics, and that doesn't mean that they have to be really expensive either. I think that if you think about fan base, is there interest? Is the publisher investing into that character? Is there merchandise attached to that character? Are people dressing up in cosplay of that character? Those are some of the things that you potentially want to look for, because there is interest there. And if there is interest, then that means that there is people that are passionate about that comic and or that character. And that's where you want to focus. But I want to do a little bit of rapid fire, because I thought that would be fun. And I want to talk about books that you should keep and books that you should absolutely sell. So here goes. The first book that you should absolutely keep is Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1. A book you should sell, Amazing Spider-Man issue number 183, the first appearance of Big Wheel. A book you should keep, Fantastic Four 52, the first appearance of Black Panther. A book you should sell, Avengers issue number 52, the first Grim Reaper. A book you should keep, Avengers 1. A book you should sell, Vision 1. A book you should keep, Wolverine issue number 1. It doesn't matter which one, keep them all. A book you should sell, X-Files issue number 1. Hopefully from that, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. The books that you should sell are all flash in a pan type of comics that do not have a real fan base that has had any interest long term. I hope that you found this video helpful, and if you did, I want to encourage you to give the video a thumbs up. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Reggie Collects. Take care.
This thing on? Mic check. I just want to make sure y'all can hear me clearly. Yeah. Should you practice art, or should art be your practice? I had a question, so I asked it. Not to anyone specifically, but to my inner God, you know? The one that's gonna be a master, the one that's more than a rapper, the one that's an educator, the one that seeks enlightenment. He travels with concepts, he's got the mindset expansive. He understands that his time combined with travel and concepts makes his mind convex. Sort of like when you look at a brain scan, straight off meditation, we was concaving until we had that eternal dialogue that created our dialect. Now we in distinct rooms of pure souls having them conversations, synergy and combinations. You fly and we waiting, Indian style and the gold.